everyone, Nora here, and welcome to another Comic Reviews. This time is RWBY Volume 4, Episode 10, Yuri, where we left off in the last episode. And this is actually a really interesting episode of RWBY because it's more or less the backstory of Nora and Lyren. More so, this actually a Team Ranger centric kind of episode. Where we left off, Team Ranger split off on the fork of the road. Jean, Ruby, and Crow end up going to Yuri, whereas Nora and Lyren end up going towards the mountains, trying to figure out the nice lay of the land. So anyway, this actually explains the backstory between the Lyren and Nora Valkyrie. If you don't know who those two are, these are the original members of Team Juniper without Kira. And it turns out that Lyren and Nora is from Yuri. Ren is from a very decent family. He's the only child, no brothers or sisters whatsoever. And his family is pretty much the middle class family of this particular village. When he was a little kid, he's admired the water lilies or the water lotus blossoms of the town. And his mother said, "Come on, I need you to help out, pick out something for your father." And he said, "Okay, Mom, I'll do that," so to speak. He ends up trying to get like a nice little weapon. Turns out it's all wooden toy weapons, whereas he tried to go to the sake vendor, and the sake vendor said, "Nope, can't do." Then he actually saw this poor little girl being bullied by just 3 boys. He ran up to them trying to say, "Hey, you can't do this. Leave him alone," but he couldn't do it. He's like too afraid of these 3 kids. And behind him was his father, Lyren. And it turns out he's well respected as a hunter. He's a hunter for the village, not a huntsman like Lyren is trying to be, because one, I think it was awesome. And it cuts back and forth, like the understanding between Jean and Ruby trying to find a decent place to find cure for the poisoning. And then it goes back to the flashback, how the boy is sleeping and all that. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm dreaming of something awesome." And he heard a roar, or a screech, or a little bit of both. And his mom woke him up. It's like, time to get the fuck out of here. And they try to run, and they say, "Can we go to the safe house?" Turns out the safe house is not safe anymore. It turns out a pack of Grimm has been attacking the village, and his mom died instantly with the entire house collapse. And Lyren and his father end up running towards the edge of town, hopefully to get away from this huge Grimm. And his father was wounded, so he tried to defeat that particular Grimm. And it didn't work so well because, well, Grimm is that way. I don't know, Grimm is pretty strong, and he's just a little kid. His father gave Ren his knife and ends up telling him, "Dude, you gotta go. Gotta run, hide, whatever." And he ends up running towards the bridge and hiding under it. Hopefully he gets calmed down, but he's crying because he lost his family and all that. And lo and behold, after a few moments of crying, his son was kicked in. And then he saw this little girl. He said, well, okay, I'm going to try to do something. He ends up going straight towards her and help her calm down using his semblance. And with them together, they end up trying to calm each other down, make sure they hide from the Nevermores. And we got a good glimpse of the actual Grimm that was, in fact, trying to destroy the entire town. I call it the Horsemen. Actually, they call it the Horsemen. I'm not sure. And this is actually from a bunch of fans who I believe are describing this species of Grimm. To me, I don't think it's, I think it's actually 2 Grimms as one. But I have yet to see how they're calling it just one Grimm. Alright, sorry, just my friend. Just my friend. Anyway, it turns out he grabs the a wooden hammer and hands it towards Nora, and they introduce themselves, and they've been together ever since. In the next scene, you got Lyran and Nora up to the mountain. They found a cave, and she cracks some jokes just to lighten up the mood. And they found this cave. It turns out to be the lair of the Grimm that attacked their home. And they discovered that one of the banners was from Xion Village. It's like, this is not good. This is not good. And he had this like feeling like, oh my god, it's going to happen again. Because they saw the shaking in the trees. And this is where pretty much the entire episode ends. Now, what do I think? And maybe I could get some tidbits. First of all, I got a little confused about, like, okay, the voice actor for Little Lyran sounds British. To be very frank, Anima is pretty much like just the Kingdom of Minstrel. Sounds more or less Asian, kind of like Asia influence, kind of have influence of this particular surrounding kingdom and the kingdom itself, and then the surrounding villages. Kurayuri in Japanese translate as Black Lily. No, honestly, it doesn't make sense. And Xion is, I can't remember what's the translation for it, but it makes kind of sense. Really, it's like, yeah, they're in this particular continent, and it makes a lot of sense of the surrounding villages. This is a very interesting video of the interesting episode of the series that gives us, the viewers, the backstory behind the fears of both Nora and Lyran and how they met. We did not know that Nora Valkyrie was, in fact, a street urchin. What a street urchin is, or a street rat, if you know anything about Disney and Aladdin, is technically an orphan who has been on the streets, some homeless person. Although the homeless, in general, are usually adults, but there are children who lost their families, so on and so forth. And Lyran, being this well-off kid and all that, he's like, yeah, but he's afraid. There's a lesson to be learned. Is you have to take action in order to do something with yourselves. And him using his semblance, trying to calm his friend, or this poor innocent girl, to protect her from the Grimm, especially the Nevermores. What do I call Lyran's semblance is more or less a clear mind, a calm mind. Okay, calm mind will be the best way I can describe it. It's the name of a Pokemon move. But this actually helps out because it helps mask or conceal the utmost emotion of the user of this semblance and the surrounding person or people. And I believe this actually is very useful in battle because it's more of a defensive type of deal. And Grims are attracted to negative emotions such as fear, anger, hatred, so whatsoever. And it foreshadowing the next episode, whereas you get to meet the Grim, the Horseman. Now, I believe the Horseman is actually two Grim with one. It's more like a symbiotic partnership between the two Grim. You got the horse Grim, and then you got the rider. But I have yet to see if it's actually a fuse, or like one particular Grim, or two Grims in one. I have yet to see it, so I will do that in the next episode of Kami Reviews. What do I really like the episode so far? Yes and no. Yes, we finally get the backstory behind Red and Nora. The no is it's just centralized of Team Ranger for some odd reason. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end this real soon because it's pretty short, like 20 minutes. So usually that's how much the episodes of RWBY takes on. It's that way, that short. So anyway, I'm going to end it. If you love my content, please like, subscribe, bug me on social media, comment below. I want to get feedback from you guys, please, and thank you. No negative comments whatsoever. If I get one more negative comment from a certain troll, and there's a vlog about it, it'll be up very soon. So please ignore it. If you don't like my content, please don't make a comment. Thank you very much. Have a great day.